What's up, iRisk, back here on the video. But this video is going to be non-gaming related. This video is going to be based around the fact that PayPal fucked me in a really hard way. You couldn't even write this shit. We're going to do some setup for the story so everybody understands the whole picture. Why is PayPal important to me in the first place? It's for the simple reason that that's how I move a lot of my funds around. One's coming in, how I pay people. Basically, that's like one of the core things of my job is to be able to use and, operate my situation with the PayPal. And a lot of people are wondering why I can't use alternatives and just forget about this. And the reason I have such a reliance on PayPal is the fact that I'm a Twitch streamer. If you guys don't know what Twitch is, it's basically a streaming platform for gamers where people can come watch you play your favorite game. Maybe it's their favorite game, maybe they like you as a person. They can watch your gameplay is the basis of it all. And it turns out that a lot of people really enjoy it, to the point where they'll have such a dedication to the streamer that they'll almost hit up every single stream, which makes the streamer, as he grows, want to stream more and more. But you can't just sink time into something and then get no return monetarily, because then you can't live. So because these streamers, including myself, stream for so long and use it as our main time sink or our job, people realize this and for whatever reason decide to donate or tip a decent sum of money over time, or a one-time donation or a subscription. There's lots of ways that streamers can make money, but the main one for at least smaller streamers is tips. And with PayPal being the most common way to tip, it's very easy for someone to go into your stream, use PayPal, and donate you X or Y amount of money. There are other forms in which you can get paid, including credit cards and two others, but those two others are pretty much unknown to most people. So PayPal's your main option, the main way you're going to receive funds. So you can imagine how upset I am that PayPal is doing this to me when I go into the details of the story. So it all started when somebody who had donated to me charged back on me. What does chargeback mean? Basically, they went to their PayPal and said, that was an unauthorized charge. I need my money back because that wasn't me who gave them that money. So immediately what happens when PayPal receives this notification is they take that amount out of your account immediately. So your PayPal's essentially frozen until you pay off that sum. For me, it was upwards of $300. So I had to pay off $300 that I don't know if I'm going to get back, just so I can even pay for anything with PayPal. I can still receive funds, but I can't send anything out because I'm already in the negative at that point. So me trying to be diligent and work with PayPal in the best way possible, I call them. I give them all of my information so that they can recognize it's me. I talk to them for upwards of an hour about how I can fight this in the most optimal way possible. What information do you need? How should I describe it in text format? How can I just do this? How can I do this? I need the best way possible. I want to get the money back. I don't want to have to pay for somebody who's, essentially, because I know the situation a little bit better than most, is a fake chargeback. So after that long conversation, I send in all my information. I pay the $400 so I can use my PayPal. I do pretty much everything that is required for me to be able to use my account to the fullest and also fight this back as best I can. Then I wake up the next morning, I stream, and I realize that for some reason I'm not getting as many donations as I'm used to. Of course, sometimes you have off days, sometimes you have slow days, and some days you're not as entertaining as others, and I completely understand that. But it was still strange because it was one of my peak times to stream and I had a really good viewer count. And then I get a message on Twitter of somebody telling me, I'm getting this weird notification that when I tried to tip you, you aren't even able to receive it. And this is my livelihood. This is whether I make enough money to pay my rent, pay my bills, all that stuff. I'm not necessarily living, donation to donation, but it still would suck if 90% of my revenue was suddenly cut off. Like I still need to make money to survive. So I'm running around trying to figure out what I can do to fix this. I immediately go to my PayPal. I start calling them as I'm looking at it, and then I notice on my PayPal, go to the resolution center. Oh, perfect. I can just go to the resolution center. I can fix this, and then I'll be able to use my PayPal account because I don't have a negative balance. I don't have any undisputed claims. I don't have anything wrong with my account that I can see. And so I go into my options. I'm looking through, and it says go to the resolution center there as well, even after I click on the link. I'm curious because I don't see any place to update, remove, change, anything. It's just telling me I can't use my account. So as soon as somebody picks up, they tell me this. Whilst we were looking into your dispute issue, we realized that your account, the dispute issue I already paid $300 for so I could use my account, so I already got fucked so far, and I don't know if I'm going to win the case. They say while they were looking into that, they noticed something weird about my account. Now that's weird because I've had this account since 2012, and that's the very reason that it was locked down. Apparently, when I made my PayPal account, I wasn't quite 18. Of course, that's not very strange because of the fact that pretty much everybody I know made their PayPal account as soon as they got their credit card, and apparently you have to be 18 to accept their terms of service. So they froze the account. And then I asked her, so is there any way I could get my account back, or is it completely frozen forever? She says, there's no problem. I can just delete the account, and then we can reopen it, and then you can take back your account, basically. Just entering in the same information, you have your account. I said, oh, that's great, that's perfect. And she didn't tell me this, I told her this. I said, but I have one issue. I have over 20 disputes going on in my account where I'm still in an ongoing battle to see if I'm going to get my money back. And then she says, well, we're going to have an issue with that. And I was curious. I was saying, well, then why don't we just unlock my account and then have me recertify on the terms of service? I'm over 18. I'm well over 18 now. So why can't I just get the terms of service again and then get my account back? And her reasoning was on shaky ground, purely because she agreed with me, but then said she can't change the rules. She said it would make sense for you to be able to just recheck off on that box because you're over 18 now and you've been a customer for nearly 5 years, or a little over 5 years, and have moved thousands of dollars through PayPal, considering it is my main way to transfer funds around, and we've been taking transaction fees on those. But instead, you're just kind of screwed. We have to completely close the account, and we can't do that because you have ongoing cases. And so I asked her, how long do you think these cases are going to go? And she says 45 days for your most recent ones, but I've seen you have some currently going on in the past that can take up to a year. A year without my PayPal would completely put me in just, I wouldn't have any money. I wouldn't have any money. My bills would drain that shit in 3 or 4 months. And that's not considering food, gas, anything else. Just straight up the bills I have to pay would drain the amount of money that I have right now in 3 to 4 months. And a lot of people are thinking, why would you make an account on PayPal before you were 18? Even if it's a common thing, you still broke the rules. Well, here's what I have to say to that. The fact that I've had an account for 5+ years, 5 years, that's not a short amount of time. And they didn't notice until I was having a very stressful and horrid thing happen to me where I was getting someone taking money away from me that they've already given to me, is just a shitty thing to do. I mean, the least they could do is wait until the dispute was over, let me use my PayPal, considering I'm over the age of 18 now, and then have me close the account and reopen it. That would make sense to me. I don't know about you guys, but it's purely the fact that the reason that they closed it was because they noticed that there was a dispute on my account. And then I called in, and then they noticed that my account was made before I was 18. If anything, it's lack of ability to prevent me from doing it in the first place. I would say, in some facet, they have to be able to not allow me to do that. They take your SOCH, they take your bank account, they take all your information. At no point did they see that I was under 18 when I had the account and was using it for remedial purposes instead of now it being one of the cores of what I would like to call my business. But on to another point. Then I ask her, can I just make a new PayPal account? And she quickly says, yes, of course you can. And I said, well, can I have it attached to my bank? Can I have it attached to my card? Can I have it attached to any of my information that I had previously? She said, you cannot have it attached to your bank. You cannot have it attached to your card. You cannot have it attached to your address. You can't have it attached to anything that you have on this account. So the account's frozen for upwards of a year. I can't use the account to transfer funds. So if I would have had any money on the account, then it would be frozen. If I had my life savings on PayPal, it would be frozen right now for up to a year. Luckily, I transferred to my bank. And not only that, there's absolutely nothing I can do to speed up the review process. It's just gonna take a year. I can't call them and say, hey, can we really hurry up on that other one? I know one of them is going to take 45 days, but the other one could go upwards of a year. Can we get on that really quick, PayPal? There's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. And the way that person sent me funds was through the fact that he sent it in another country, so I can't assume that PayPal's connections to countries other than the United States are even quicker. It could take more than a year. So that account is basically fried. Any account that I make that's attached to my current bank or card is going to get frozen as well. And I can't just attach to my card. I have to attach to my bank, but my bank's on record on this account, so I would have to go make a whole new checking or savings account just so I could use PayPal. And not even my PayPal, a new one I have to make. And this all happened without any notice. It just immediately frozen. Not a week, not a day, nothing. If I had any funds in there, they froze it without telling me anything whatsoever. No information, no communication. They have my number, they have my address, they have pretty much every bit of information on a person that you could possibly have, and they gave me no notice. So I don't understand how that's okay. How can you do that to the people who have been with you for over a year and transfer thousands upon thousands of dollars through your service, which you took transaction fees on? How can you do this to people? And the shittiest part is, I'm not even the worst case scenario, because I made a new PayPal account. I linked it to a new email. I linked it to not my bank, but somebody else that's really close to me, which is obviously not an optimal situation for me, but at least I had someone. Imagine if you were somebody who lived alone, had no relatives, nothing. You're screwed. You're SOL. You're done. You can't use PayPal. You can't make a new one because you can't make a PayPal and then not link it to a bank and receive funds. You just can't. That's not part of their service. So even if you're on the side of it's all your fault, you made a PayPal account before you were 18, you shouldn't have done that, all of this is your fault, you can at least recognize the fact. They gave me no notice that they were freezing my account. They didn't do this until I was calling in the fact that I had to dispute a claim because someone was basically stealing money from me. And the fact that they don't have a fix for this. They have no fix for it. There's nothing I can do. There's no one I can call. There's no one I can talk to about this because I'm just stuck. My account's frozen. I have disputes on it, so they can't close and reopen it for me. And I can't sign the old terms of service that I am able to because I'm 18 or over 18, I should say. So essentially, PayPal fucked me. PayPal fucked me, and if I didn't have anybody else to turn to, I wouldn't even be able to do my job. I would be completely out. And a lot of people may wonder, why are you so reliant on one source? Because it's the most widespread. That's like me walking up to a McDonald's and trying to give them a gold coin for a burger. They don't accept that currency. You accept bills and credit cards. That's it. That's what you have at your disposal. I don't have many other options that Twitch allows me to go through. There's only 4 options. There's PayPal, credit cards, and 2 others that nobody's ever heard of. I'm hoping that somehow this makes its way to PayPal. I don't have high hopes, but if it does, I want to let you know, PayPal, this is fucked up, and I can't believe you'd allow your customers to be treated this way. If there was somebody in a worse off situation than me, they legitimately could not do business. And I hope you're aware of that. With that, I'm going to call it good. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Peace out, and I fucking love you guys.